First of all, Admiral Roughead, the brief that you gave, I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks ago in the skiff, was tremendously helpful. Was fast-paced, but you covered a lot of territory and maybe quieted a lot of fears on certain people relative to naval capabilities and some of the new threats. That was a very helpful briefing. And also, General Amos, thank you for taking time to review the EFV decision that you'd worked through. I still have some reservations, as you know. We'll probably have a committee hearing about it just to try to look into that, but I appreciate your availability and your candor in saying this is what we're trying to do. As you know, Mr. Secretary and General Amos, part of our job is to say, wait a minute, we think you guys are being too good of soldiers in terms of maybe being too tough on the budget, and there may be some times where we need to push back. We have tried to do that, members of this committee, making the case that the overall national budget problem can't be fixed by cuts to defense, and that may be very unwise. Certainly the number of 288 ships that were the same place we were in 1916 is not something that gives us a lot of sense of peace here. And you've heard me complain before that the more that you can include us in the process and help us to go to bat for you, particularly General Amos, in terms of your reset necessity because of having had all this equipment deployed for so long, we want to try to help you in that regard. Help us to help you in giving us as much heads up as you're making different decisions and things are going along instead of catching us. And you know that's been my continuous complaint, and I don't need to repeat it too much. But all three of your availability, we're very appreciative. We're supposed to know something about the political situation of what's going on, and we, as you know, the House did pass an appropriations bill because we understand the pressure that you're under. However, we're not the only players in this game, and so far that hasn't gone anywhere. My recommendation is that you prepare, just as Secretary and a number of you listed off, I forget who was it made the list today, but you listed off some of the things where you need transfer authority if we're continuing on this continuing resolution approach. I think it would be good to have a second arrow, and that would be put together the most important transfer authority requirements that you need so that we can go to bat. And if we have to include those in, we can't do it in this little short continuing resolution as I understand it because the bus has left the station, but we may well be back at another one of these Band-Aid type things. And if we do have the key transfer authority things that you need, it may allow us to try to help you. You might think that a couple of, particularly a certain subcommittee chairman's a pain in the rear for complaining about you making decisions and not telling us ahead of time, but we're also, on the other hand, fighting in your behalf. And we're trying to be a team player and a help. And we may be able to get some of those key transfer things through, even if we don't have the appropriations piece fixed, because we are in a period of tremendous budget instability, as you know. The case that we've been making as a member of the Budget Committee, if you take a look at the simple numbers, our revenues are $2.2 trillion. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't. $2.2 trillion, that's how much money comes in. And our entitlements plus debt service is $2.2 trillion. So we can zero defense and it doesn't solve the problem. And so we're making that case that we have to deal with this other budget problem aside from continuing to whack defense and to run a Navy at the 1916 level. So help us to help you, but do help us by giving us the most important transfer authority pieces that you need. So that was really all I had. Unless if you want to respond, I've got a few seconds left here. So.
Thank you, Congressman. And just to respond very quickly on a couple of issues. One is it's not just transfer authority that we're lacking, it's New START authority. That's what is really going to hamper us so much on ship construction, for example. And you pointed out that we're, as the CNO said, at 288 ships, the lowest since 1916. But if we build our 5-year and then 10-year shipbuilding plan, we will get to around 325 ships in the early 2020s. So we will pass the 313 floor and we will go up to the mid-320s in the early 2020s, but we won't be able to do that absent New START authority to build the second Virginia-class submarine, the 2 Aegis-class destroyers, the mobile landing platform. So I would add that.
Thank you.
Thank you.